Hey everyone, Dukin is here with a video focused on the Bladedancer, inspired by the June update implemented by Bungie yesterday. For those of you that don't know me, I almost exclusively play a hunter, so I was pretty devastated by the update, until I actually played last night. I've come up with a decent class setup that I want to share with you guys, but I also want to politely call Bungie out on their inaccurate patch notes. They misled us, and I want to show proof of why. I'm not going to go over the nerfs to the Bladedancer, so this video assumes you've done your reading. I will, however, explain to what extent you will notice and feel the biggest changes in your standard gameplay, followed by how I changed my approach to using the super. First thing I'm going to talk about is a skip grenade. You're looking at 3 clips here where I get different damage amounts each time. The most damage I saw was in the first clip where it did about 140. The most common numbers I've seen land between 90 and 110 damage. So just not enough to break a shield, or just enough to break a shield and do a little extra damage. In my opinion, this grenade is still the easy option on the Bladedancer. I don't see the other grenades competing based on my gameplay last night, but if you're good with flux grenades, I could see that working out for you. Also, take a look at this clip where I'm actually the one that gets tagged by a skip grenade, and I take about 110 damage. We're going to move on to melee now. Blink strike distance was dropped by 0.4 meters. As expected, and shown in these clips, you don't really feel this change. I still hit from roughly the same distance I'm familiar with, and I miss from distances you would expect to miss from. There's nothing you can really do about this anyway, so there's not much else to say, except for the classic Frontstab issue. Let me read you a direct excerpt from the update. The Backstab upgrade has been the source of some confusing behavior for a while, particularly when it appears to hit from the front. The valid region for backstabbing should now be more solidly behind the target. Now take a look at these clips. This poor Bladedancer is coming straight at me. I hit him with a shotgun blast, and then very clearly get him with a 182 yellow damage front stab. So, backstab works from the front, but does it work from the back? Nope. I have the double melee gauntlets on in this clip, and both melees are charged. I burn one on a Titan, and then approach the next player from directly behind him. Look, I could not be more centered behind this guy. I melee him, and the backstab doesn't kick in. I was so baffled by this, I actually went into my menu to triple check that I had the backstab perk on, which you can see I did. Bungie, please have somebody look into this. The second thing I want to call Bungie out on is the changes to Blink. According to the update, the only change to Blink is that you now have a -1 recovery penalty. They actually ghost nerfed the ready up time after using Blink, which I'm going to prove right here. Take a look at this clip. I spam my melee button after blinking. Notice how it doesn't react until I'm a couple inches off the ground. Now take a look at a clip from a few weeks ago in a trials match. I'm actually able to swipe at the peak of my blink, so this was definitely changed. We're going to talk about the super now. Increasing the hit detection by half a meter is a significantly favorable change. I find myself getting short-stopped far less often. Also, take a look at this clip where I lock onto a warlock from a pretty far distance. I'm confident in telling you this is a major improvement to the super. Now, the 0.8 second cooldown in between swipes is virtually unnoticed, as seen in this clip where I can clearly spam it in sets of 3, just like the pre-update. Also before the update, you could spam both blink and swipe to close gaps, which is what most of us did. Now that the ready up time after blinking is more delayed, you leave yourself vulnerable in the air for a longer period of time because there are no movements you can make after blinking. So to quickly summarize, Blink now closes gaps less easily, leaves you vulnerable for longer, and incurs a -1 recovery penalty. In my opinion, Blink is significantly less appealing. So how can we close the gap with the same effectiveness as before? My answer? The Bones of Ao, with controlled double jump. Better control actually gives you 2 more agility than Blink. Now take a look at these clips back to back. In the first clip, I'm spamming the jump button and melee while constantly changing direction. In the second clip, I'm doing the same thing except with blink and melee. It's pretty clear that my character would be harder to hit in the first clip, which is why I've changed my setup from blink to better control jump with the Bones of Ao. Since this is my new setup, I want to show you a way you can make the most of it. I'll slow this down and we'll take it step by step. When your super is charged and you want to pop, jump, then double jump, and immediately pop your super right after the double jump. Notice how my character rides the initial boost of the double jump while launching the super. This makes you tougher to hit during the vulnerability window while activating. Start spamming swipe so you dash as soon as the super is available to use. After swiping for the first time, jump again, in a direction that isn't directly towards your target to make yourself harder to hit. Swipe again after enjoying the second boost, land, and then repeat until you reach your opponent. So just a quick recap and a reminder that a lot of this is just my opinion. Skip grenades are still the go-to grenade. The nerf to blink strike is negligible, but Frontstab is still broken, and now Backstab might be actually flawed as well. Blink's ready up time after use was ghost nerfed to cause a longer delay. As a result of that ghost nerf, I believe Bones of Ale and Controlled Jump outclasses Blink from both an evasiveness standpoint and the ability to close gaps. As a result, the standard build that most of us run, being Skip Grenades, Razor's Edge or Showstopper, Backstab, Quick Draw, and Hungering Blade, all go unchanged. The only change for me is moving from Blink to Controlled Jump, and even then, I could see why some people would still keep Blink. So there you have it. The nerf didn't really change that much after all. Guys, I hope this video was informative. I stayed up pretty late last night getting footage and cutting it, and I know I'm going to be exhausted at work tomorrow, so more than ever, I'd really appreciate it if you guys could like and share this video. Until Friday, when my next Trials, Tips, and Tutorials episode drops, duking us out.